What's up, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Eagles on the Air, the Salesian High School podcast brought to you straight from our broadcast studio. I'm your host, Steve Celestio. I got a great guest for you today. I think you're going to love what he has to say. I'm excited to hear about it. My guest is from the class of 2019, Mr. Jimmy Ascencio. Jimmy, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being part of the show.
Oh, Steve, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be here. I've seen a lot online and on Instagram, and I'm pleasure to be here.
You know, the guys came into my office a few weeks back, and they met with the staff of Why Not You Media, and they said, "What do you think? We're going to interview Jimmy Ascencio because we're constantly thinking about who we could bring on the show." And people contact us; they want to be on the show. As soon as I heard Jimmy, I said, "Stop! Don't look any further. That's our guy."
I appreciate it. It's appreciated.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, I start every show with the same question. I want to hear it from absolutely everybody that comes on. And the question is very simple. The question is, what is your Salesian story? How did you come to be a student here? What was your journey like? What doors have opened because you were a student here, and so on? So please take it away.
My story as Salesian has been quite a unique one. I didn't have kind of like the typical Salesian story or a high school story, matter of fact, right? I came here sophomore year, transferred in, but I did more than the average, right? I did 5 years of high school instead of 4. Unforeseen circumstances happened with my family, finances or whatever, and it didn't work out at the previous school I was at, and we were looking for schools around, like didn't know what to do. My older brother asked my mom, they were like, "Hey, like, Jimmy's looking for a school." I went to school at Blessed Sacrament down the street many, many years ago. And he was like, "Oh, there should be a school around there. I heard there was a school." So we looked on Google, looked up. We were like Catholic high schools in New Rochelle. And lo and behold, Salesian High School popped up, all boys, just what I was looking for. And, we reached out. We were like, "Hey, we have a unique situation here." My mom spoke to Father John at the time. We were like, "Hey, like, I know you never heard about this. It's October. We're looking for a new school." And he was like, "I'll call you back." Called me 4 hours later. And he was like, "Listen, I would like to meet him." We went the next day. And the ball rolled after that. Like, it was just all unforeseen circumstances. And I couldn't thank God enough, right? I couldn't thank the Salesians enough, Father John enough. You, right, Steve? Like, you were one of the first people I met. You sat me down, broke it down for me, and made the process much smoother than we thought it would be. And from then on, right, I'm sitting here, right, doing all these different things at the school, and I became a coach. I'm a collegiate coach now. Also working with the camp and Camp Echo Bay, and always coming back to help more because this school changed my life. So.
Well, it's funny you said, and I appreciate you saying that, I was one of the first people you met. I remember it very well because, I have a pretty good memory when it comes to these things. I take all these interviews to heart, and I remember you transferring in here. I remember meeting with Father John. That's Father John Serio, the former president. We try to vet our transfer students really well because I tell all the families here, we have a really good flow in the building. We have a really good vibe. And so we don't want, it's not like, oh, I God forbid, got thrown out of this school. Well, let's just go to Salesian. It's not that place.
Yeah.
And so I make sure I vet the students and the families really well and then come to the conclusion, is this student going to excel? And is Salesian going to be a better place if this person comes here? And I do have to say, and I think during your 3 years here, I might have asked you a few times if this was the best decision that you've ever made. I think if you've transferred into Salesian and you're watching this, I've asked you about 200 times.
Yeah.
Tell me the best decision you've made in the last X number of years. And I always try to get the answer, coming to Salesian.
Yeah.
So it has been, like you said, a blessing in disguise. I think it was. You were a great addition to the school, and a great addition because you weren't afraid to get involved. Okay, so let's go back to you just being a student here. Tell me some of the things, athletically, not athletically, that you got involved in. I want to hear a little bit more about that.
Sure. First off, I've always been a person that I can't stay still, right? I'm always somebody that's always involved, trying to be helping others in any which way I can, right? I didn't know I was athletically as gifted as I thought I'd be. Everybody, being in New York, you want to play basketball all year and want to be basketball. But, John Moresi, who's the athletic director here, back then, he brought me into his office. He's like, "Dude, like, you can run." And so I didn't know I could run, right? He was like, "Try it out. Like, it might be well for you, right? Long story short, ran in college. I'm coaching track and field now, right? That pursued my career a little bit more. But outside of athletics, I was very involved in youth ministry. Rest in peace, Mr. J. Like really brought me in and inspired me to be more involved with my faith. Right, I was involved with churches back home at Our Lady of Angels in the Bronx, and I tried to be involved in youth ministry a lot, and that really helped me pave my way in my faith life and being more involved with the Salesians for sure.
Yeah, we saw it too because you come here and I got to know you right away. I got to meet you and your family right away. And so I kind of knew what we were getting. But a lot of the teachers, you're just a student in their class, a transfer student, and you got to know them a lot quicker because of all this involvement. And that's what we encourage here. Get involved in something. Get to know your teachers, get to know your coaches, your classmates a little bit better. And a lot of that happens outside the classroom.
Sure.
So it's awesome that you had that opportunity. So you spoke about Mr. Moresi. He's coaching the varsity basketball team. He's the athletic director here. You ended up helping him out a lot too in his basketball program. I remember seeing you, so tell me.
Obviously things didn't work out athletically with basketball, but basketball, I love the sport, I love the game, and I love Moresi, right? But if you don't love Moresi and you're a Salesian alum, you're probably lying, right? He's a great guy, and I knew building a relationship in the athletic world was going to be something that I needed to do. And, I was his manager for many years, the 3 years I was here. I ended up, during my college years, did an internship with him. And that was probably one of the best experiences I've had during my college life. Coming back, being around the Salesians, some old teachers, catching up, trying to mentor some of the current students here, being involved and trying to give them pointers on trying to, what would their next steps be after Salesian and what they can do.
Yeah, and you know what? That's important too. You don't realize how important that is because you're a young guy, and in that sense become so relatable to the current students. As they see a young guy, good shape, involved in college, just got out of college, coaching in college, and so you're easy to get along with. Easy to relate to. And I agree. And you know what? Mr. Moresi was a guest on the podcast a few episodes ago. He's entertaining all the time.
All the time.
He's never a dull moment with Coach Moresi. Yeah. So tell me one other thing, because the Ascensios here, it started off with Jimmy coming to us way back in, it had to be like 2016 or so, 2016, 2017, give or take, when you first came here. And then you got to see your little brother go through the process himself. Yeah. What was it like seeing Tyler, who graduated here in 2002, graduated 3 years after you, go through the process, finding Salesian, having a successful 4 years himself? What was that like? It was pretty cool.
I mean, it was interesting for sure, right? My mom had such a great experience here, and not only a welcoming environment for myself, but for her also having that transition for her. She didn't bat an eye and told Tyler he was coming. He didn't have a choice. He was like, you're going to Salesian, whether you like it or not, you're going. And he enjoyed it also. He created his relationships, and being there for him and having that support system while he was a freshman and I was a senior helped him also too. And it definitely paved his way as well.
And I got to say, I mean, Tyler, I don't want to say that he was forced to come here, but for someone that basically had no choice, he always seemed to be walking around the halls with a smile on his face.
No, always, man. I think that's the Ascencio thing. Like, we always have smiles on our face. We're always joking around, always having a good time, and he definitely carried on that well.
That's great, and I do remember it like it was yesterday. You come into my office for the first time and be like, Mrs. Celestio, what do I got to do to get my brother to do a shadow day here? And I don't even know if I realized you had a little brother at that time. I was like, send him in. Yeah. I think he did a shadow day, and we had Tyler hooked from that second on.
100%.
Again, we're better off for having him come here as well. It's still not over. It's still not over because it's 2025. We're going into the 25-26 school year. Now we're looking at Ethan coming through.
He's totally excited when it came to picking high schools in early October. He called me. I'm up at school doing my stuff, and he was like, "Hey, Jim, like, what do I got to do to go to Salesian?" I was like, "Don't say that." I was like, "Don't say that, because I'll make one phone call and we'll have you hooked." And he was like, "I mean, you guys talk about it so well. and I want to experience what you guys experienced. And, he's already coming in with a mature mindset and ready to be engaged, ready to be involved. And I'm excited to see what his career and his path of opportunities will take in his future.
That's great, and we're excited as well. Through the recruiting process, I had the luxury of meeting Tyler a few times. Ethan a few times. I think he's going to be another great addition to the school, and just like you, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in the next 4 years. We are absolutely lucky to continue the Ascencio name here.
For sure.
You mentioned a little bit about college, but I want to go way back when. I want to go way back. You ended up going to Manhattanville.
Yes, sir.
Tell me here, you maybe scouted out some colleges, checked out some places. How did you land at Manhattanville?
Yeah, so I wanted to run in college. That's something that came about maybe my senior year. I was like, I think I can do it. Like, I think that would be an opportunity. But I also wanted to major in sports. Sports was my dream. I wanted to be involved in sports. So, as any other college applicant does, they look for what they're interested in, what schools offer it. I didn't hear about Manhattanville, didn't know it existed. My mom's friend went there and called her. She goes, I think that'll be a good place for Jim. Like, it's close to home, not too far from home. I don't know if it has anything he likes, but check it out. Long story short, I went there, kind of had the similar kind of vibe as Salesian, small school, very interpersonal, one-to-one based with education, which what I enjoyed at Salesian. And I got to the opportunity to run there. So that was the only opportunity I had, so saying no would have not been the right thing. So I ended up going there, and my 4 years there, I met my long-term friends there, best of friends there. And I ended up doing 2 extra years there. I completed my master's this past spring, and long story short, same way as Salesian, I never left until recently. So it was a great experience, and I wouldn't change it for sure.
I love it. I really do. And Manhattanville's a beautiful school, a beautiful place. Again, not far from here, straight up the Hutch. A piece of cake of a ride to get up there. A bunch of our students go there, and it's. I know they're in good hands when they go to Manhattanville. So
100%.
Beautiful place, and I'm glad you found your way. I like to think that Salesian had a part in that, and I'd like to think that it was way back, like we said in the beginning of the show, your decision to leave your current school, take a leap of faith, come into a completely different environment, meet all new people, try new things, and eventually led to you being pretty successful so far at 20-something years old. At least having a roadmap.
100%.
Which is important. Listen, we're doing this. We're in the world of, us staff here, we're in the world of education to help, all right? To help, to see you guys succeed, and to come back and share those success stories with us. And the fact that you're doing it and willing to do it with our students, it means the world to us. Because they can listen to me all day.
Yeah.
I'm the older guy. I'm old news.
Yeah.
You're the one they want to hear it from.
100%.
So all those young alums out there that want to come back and speak, contact us. We want to hear from you. We want you to come back and speak to our students, either at a career day or more informal, push into a classroom and talk. It's so important for them to see what they could be in 4 years, in 8 years, for all you young guys.
No, yeah, 100%. I always, whenever I come back and get the opportunity to talk 1, 2, 3 kids, I always tell them, I said, you're more than likely to listen to me than your teachers, right? They're always telling you what to do, but if you hear it from a one-to-one, somebody who's experiencing it in the field that could probably even give you an opportunity, never be afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's great? You always brought with you a great sense of joy, but also a great sense of maturity. So we always felt like, you were always a good decision maker and always willing to help, always willing to volunteer. We can count on you for as long as, you were a student here. And that continues on. That continues on to us calling you to say, hey, you want to be part of the podcast? And here you are accepting just to continue to help out and continue to reach, families from the Bronx, from Westchester who are interested in Salesian, who might not know a whole lot about it, but hey, I'm a success story. So let's, hear what I have to say. So you're still not done because you came here, you transferred in here, you had 3 strong years here. All right, you went to Manhattanville, you went straight through, and in 6 years you graduated with a master's degree in sports management. Very proud of you for getting that done as well. But I see you every summer. Every summer, Jimmy. And you're wearing loud and proud the Camp Echo Bay shirt.
Yep.
Tell me, what did you, all right, I know you've been around for a while in the camp. What are you currently doing in Camp Echo Bay?
I'm currently the director of Camp Echo Bay.
You are the director?
Yep.
Oh, even
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
know that. So if I have a friend that needs to get in, who do I call?
You can call me straight away.
The same way you called me for Ethan and
Yeah.
for Tyler. Oh, I might, all right. I didn't realize I had a hookup.
Yeah.
All right, that's amazing. All right, so you're the director of Camp Echo Day, but it didn't start there, right?
No.
What did you do before?
I was a camp counselor for about 6 years. Became one of the group leaders for about 2-3 years, and then during the year I was presented with this opportunity, and Salesians have done very much so for me and created a lot of opportunities for me to give back. The camp gave me that same opportunity also in the summers, and extending my hands to more younger community around New Rochelle and the Bronx and Westchester. And I could do this even more now. And, being that head voice and really trying to go out there and recruit and try to get more kids to, experience the Salesians. If they're a young man that, goes through the camps, that Salesian High School could be next story for them also.
Amazing. And I have to say, your personality is infectious. I'd come out here. I work through the summer, so I'm constantly outside, seeing you guys each summer working with your groups, whether you were the group leader or a camp counselor or whatever it was. And I could say that wherever you were, there was a group of campers around you. Like I said, those young guys and girls for camp, because co-ed camp, always wanted to be around you.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to do great in this new director's role. And take the camp to new heights, because let's be serious, there's a lot of kids out there, there's a lot of kids in the school whose first experience on the Salesian campus is at Camp Echo Bay.
100%.
So we want to continue to work with you and with Camp Echo Bay to continue to get the name out there. Share your story, whether it's at camp or whether it's speaking to the students in phys ed class or speaking to them in a classroom. Continue to get that word out. And just know that from us, it's very much appreciated, because again, the kids stopped listening to me, I think, and they started listening to all these young guys who are a lot more, first of all, closer in age to them and a little bit more relatable. So what do you got? What's the plan? Because as of filming, our date of filming here, we're about a week away from the start of camp.
Yes, we
You
are.
looking forward to it?
Definitely 100% excited. Excited for the new beginnings, for sure.
Well, I have a couple of friends who are looking for spots in camp, so I'm going to put them through to Jimmy. But listen, I first of all, I really appreciate you coming on. I love that you were candid with your experience in transferring here. That's number one, because in a perfect world, students leave the 8th grade
And come straight.
take the tax exam, come straight, have 4 great years. That's not the situation all the time. Okay, so last year alone, let's just go recent data. Last year alone, 16 kids from local schools transferred into Salesian. And again, they were carefully vetted. That number could have been 36, but we carefully vet these kids and we make sure that they will have an experience very similar to the one you had, where they're willing to do well in school, that's number one, willing to participate, and ultimately continue their education, in college, universities, and come back and give back.
100%.
All right, so that's the Salesian story, man.
Always.
Let me tell you, I think that's a first. Definitely the first student that we brought on that's transferred in. And I loved what you had to say. Happy that Tyler had a great 4 years here as well. Speaking of your family, excited to share the next 4 years with Ethan. May I say good luck on having a successful summer here, man.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Next week is going to be like a high of 99. So
Yeah.
good luck out on that blacktop. Hopefully
Yeah.
I find you in the air conditioning.
Appreciate
Now that
it.
he's the director, hopefully he has a nice air-conditioned office.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
But Jimmy, one more time, I just want to thank you for coming on. I appreciated it, loved what you had to say. I can't wait to push this episode out to everybody so that they can hear it as well.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Don't be a stranger. I know I'm going to see you on campus soon. And for everybody out there, this has been another exciting episode of Eagles on the Air.